96.5 The Cave, Lenawee County Sports. Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. This is Inside the Cave on 96.5 FM and 965thecave.com. Sports talk radio with a local angle, where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports, interview area coaches and players, and get you ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go inside the cave.
And welcome to Inside the Cave on this beautiful Thursday morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Pat Hayes, and Ian Went is with me this morning on the phone. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, Pat. Lots to talk about today, I'll tell you what.
Oh, boy, we're going to have a fun-filled morning here. The next 2 hours jam-packed full. We've got a lot of football to talk about, of course. Signing day was yesterday. We'll talk about Michigan, Michigan State, and maybe Eastern and Toledo if we get time to do that. We also have some pro football to talk about. The ACC, of course, at 8:25 this morning, we'll be talking with senior editor of the Wolverine magazine, John Borton, about the situation over at the University of Michigan. Should be a great day here, Ian.
Yeah, it really should. And, you know, as we always say, if you want to call in and talk sports, if you have thoughts on Michigan, Michigan State, signing day, call us, 265-4000. We'd like to hear from you.
All right. Well, let's get things started here.
Now for an Inside the Cave sports update.
Well, four-star running back Donovan Edwards has committed to the Wolverines. He did that yesterday, the first day of the early signing period. Edwards announced his decision on ESPN and picked U of M over Georgia, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma, among other schools. Edwards ranked number 44 overall and the number 4 running back, according to 24/7 Sports composite rankings, was considered one of the nation's top uncommitted prospects. Edwards' commitment bolsters U of M's depth in the backfield as the Wolverines signed just 2 running backs across the 2019 and 2020 classes in Zach Charbonnet and Blake Corum. 3-star Travere Dunlap was the first running back in Michigan's 2021 class. According to 24/7 Sports composite rankings, Edwards is the highest-ranked running back the Wolverines have landed during Jim Harbaugh's tenure, and 4th highest-ranked offensive player after receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones in 2017, quarterback J.J. McCarthy in the 21 class, and offensive lineman Ben Bredesen in the 2016 class. This is also a significant in-state recruiting win for Michigan, which landed just 4 of the state's top 15 ranked prospects in the 21 class in Edwards, number 2, offensive tackle Giovanni El Hadi, number 4, center Raheem Anderson, number 7, and receiver Andrell Anthony, number 13. Michigan lost 2 4-star recruits, linebacker Brandon Jennings and defensive end Quentin Somerville, to other schools. Michigan football held on to one of its top recruits in the 21 class, 4-star receiver Xavier Worthy, who committed to the Wolverines in July, announced Wednesday afternoon that he would sign with U of M over Alabama. Worthy had paid his own way to Tuscaloosa to watch the Crimson Tide win over Auburn. That provided Alabama with the opportunity to flip one of Michigan's top recruits. Ultimately, Worthy chose to sign with U of M during the early signing period, a significant win for the Wolverines. And the ACC Conference Commissioner, Mike Arisco, joined the Paul Feinbaum Show on the SEC Network to discuss the latest college football playoff rankings and what he deemed as an unfair system. Arisco says he thinks that there are more teams that deserve respect than the committee gives, that deserve respect then the committee gives that respect too. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I think the system is in danger of being derailed now with this, what I consider self-selected arbitrary factors. It's not being decided on the field, in my view. Why play the games? If you're going to ignore a 17-point loss at home from a team that you've ranked 10 or 12 spots below, why say every game counts and why play the games? So, again, I don't know where the goalposts are anymore. I just know that they seem out of range for a conference like ours, which the committee keeps telling us we've built credibility. We're a really good conference. We've got good teams top to bottom. But then, we don't seem to get the respect that I think we deserve.
And that was a Mike Oresco from the ACC. Well, maybe we'll talk about that a little later. Michigan State football quickly changed course from signing prep prospects Wednesday to diving headfirst into the transfer market to find another quarterback. Temple's Anthony Russo announced via Twitter he will become a Spartan as a graduate transfer. He joins the 2021 class with the incoming freshman Hamp Fay, a three-star high school recruit from Texas, who Coach Mel Tucker said will enroll in January. Russo, a 6'4", 240-pound native of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, was 92nd of 135 with 9 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in 3 games this season for the Owls. While this was Russo's 5th season at Temple, he will use the extra year waiver year from the NCAA to play his 6th season at MSU. The Spartans currently have junior Rocky Lombardi, sophomore Theo Day, redshirt freshman Peyton Thorne, and true freshman Noah Kim as scholarship quarterbacks on the roster. Frank Ragnow is one of just 2 Detroit Lion players who hasn't missed a play this season. He played 872 offensive snaps overall, more than any other center in the league, and he's done it while playing through a fractured throat. Ragnow suffered the injury early in Sunday's loss against the Green Bay Packers, according to the NFL Network. But he never left the game. He played all 68 offensive snaps and did so without allowing a sack or a hit or even so much as a quarterback hurry. Now the Lions are trying to sort through the injury. Ragnow sat out practice on Wednesday, and his status for Sunday's game against Tennessee Titans is unclear. Losing him would be, of course, a significant loss for the offense that has a quarterback with a damaged cartilage in his ribs and a star receiver with a stubborn hip. Neither Matthew Stafford nor Kenny Golladay practiced on Wednesday, leaving Detroit without 3 of its best offensive players. Ragnow has joined the ranks of the elite this season and currently grades out as the number 2 center in the league, according to Pro Football Focus. The Detroit Lions will interview current Monday Night Football analyst Louis Riddick for the general manager position. That's according to ESPN's Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen. Riddick will interview for the open job in Houston on Wednesday and then in Detroit on Friday. He's most recognizable for his time during the draft season and on Monday nights on the Worldwide Network. But it's worth noting he comes with more than a decade of scouting and experience within pro football's personnel departments in Washington and Philadelphia. He also played safety in the league for 6 years for the Falcons, Browns, and Raiders. He last worked in football executive positions in Philadelphia back in 2013. Riddick is the first known external candidate to interview for the general manager position for the Lions. And former Detroit Lions receiver Calvin Johnson, ex-Detroit Piston point guard Chauncey Billups, and former Mr. Michigan Basketball Award winner Shane Battier have been selected for the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Olympic gold medal gymnast Jordan Weber, former Central Michigan softball coach Margot Jonker, and photographer Mary Schroeder are also part of the class. Former Buffalo Bills owner Ralph Wilson Jr., former Albion College and Okemos School football coach Pete Schmidt, and longtime Lions beat writer Tom Kowalski will be honored posthumously at the event. And it appears the Detroit Tigers manager A.J. Hinch is willing to grant a wish of one of his biggest stars. Hinch said he's open to the idea of playing Miguel Cabrera at first base in 2021 in order to add flexibility to his lineup. Cabrera was exclusively a designated hitter this past year and has only logged 58 games at first base over the last 3 seasons. But the 37-year-old future Hall of Famer said in an end-of-season interview that he fervently wanted to return to the field. His new skipper, at least for now, seems okay with the idea. Hinch said that Cabrera has always been engaged in both hitting and in the field, and giving him the opportunity to stay involved all the time might be beneficial. The more first base he can play and stay healthy, the better our team will be, Hinch said. After batting injuries over parts of 2017, 18, and 19, Cabrera was largely healthy in the shortened 2020 season. And that's your sports update here at 10 minutes after the hour. You're inside the cave this morning with yours truly, Pat Hayes and Ian Wendt. And Ian, what about Cabrera playing first base for the entire season?
Well, here's what I think about that. I will let him do whatever he wants to do. If he wants to play right field, put him at right field. If he wants to play first, put him there. If he wants to go back to third, have at it. I mean, this is not a playoff team right now. Whatever makes Miggy happy, because Miggy happy is a fun Miggy, and that's baseball I want to watch.
It seems to me that,
if I'm being honest,
it seems to me that when Miggy is playing first base, he's gotten hurt quite a bit. I don't know if that's just an anomaly or because when he was, he was at third base for a while, and then he came over to first, and it seemed like he got hurt right off the bat.
Well, that might be the case. I don't know. I'm just of the mindset of, how many years does he have left realistically?
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And if he wants to do it, he's one of the greatest Tigers ever. So why not just let him do what he wants and manage around that, I guess.
All right. And let's see, what else we got here we want to talk about. Of course, a big day for Michigan and Michigan State. Interesting that Michigan State going for a quarterback in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I know we're going to talk a lot about Michigan, Pat, with John Borton at around 8:30 this morning. Looking at Michigan State class, something that we all expect or that we've seen from the Spartans the last number of years is a lot of threes, a lot of 3-stars. They got a signing from Maya Gatoti. That's how I'm going to say his name. He's from Las Vegas. If I remember reading correctly, he flipped his decision. I think he was committed to LSU or USC, one of those two, and he's now a Spartan. 6'2", 220.
Yep.
Linebacker for State, number 11 in that position. And if you watched the play of the Spartan linebackers this year, at times it was pretty darn good, especially against Northwestern and Michigan. But you look at some of the guys that State has, some of the higher-ranked guys, they're in positions of need. You got a kid out of Florida, Charles Brantley, playing corner. He's at 6 foot, $160. AJ Kirk, a safety, 6 foot, 200, out of Ohio. They got a local kid, offensive tackle from East Lansing, 6'7", 285. You can't coach 6'7", Pat. I don't know if you knew that.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah, I look at things you can't coach. You can kind of coach up speed a little bit. You can get the kids in the weight room, get their weight up or down, whatever you want. But kind of tackle that's 6'7", and you think he needs to get to 395. or 295, excuse me, or 300, you can make that happen. He's the 16th ranked tackle, that Ethan Boyd kid. So that's good news. Defensive end, defensive tackles that are 6'4" to 6'6" with Tyson Watson from Warren, Derek Harmon from Detroit, 6'4" defensive tackle, 360 for him, and Alex Okello, the defensive end, 6'5", from Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're Mel Tucker, you're looking at your rank. You're ninth in the Big Ten. They were slated around 10th, I think, earlier in the day. That jumped up. And 33 ranked in the country. For a first-year guy coming into a program that is just in a total, absolute rebuild, looking at the position groups, looks like a pretty diverse class. Now, the quarterback thing, Pat, you mentioned, that tells me that it's pretty wide open at this point, that Rocky didn't do enough to sort of solidify that job. And Peyton Thorne is young still.
Yeah, Peyton Thorne has a ways to go. I think he showed some spark when he came in, and Rocky Lombardi. I mean, he would have a good game, especially against Michigan, and then he'd fall off the field and fall flat and couldn't complete a pass.
Yeah, he either looked like a Big Ten quarterback or a janitor out there. It was weird. It was like a bipolar Rocky Lombardi. But Anthony Russo, he is 6'4", 235 pro style, transferring from Temple. So that just gives him an option. And as you mentioned, a quarterback signed. Kind of go through my list here for MSU. I don't have his name off the top of my head. Hampton Fay from Fort Worth. I feel like State had a quarterback from Texas not that long ago.
State, did you mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But, it just gives Coach Tucker options at QB, which you can't really have too many. Guys transfer and, injuries happen, and sometimes it doesn't pan out at the college level. So,
yeah, well, we've seen the injury bug quite a bit.
What's that?
We've seen the injury bug quite a bit with a lot of teams, and of course your backup has always got to be ready. It could be the next play.
Yeah, I mean, especially in with Michigan's situation. Now, it wasn't totally an injury with Joe Milton, but Cade McNamara had to be ready to go, and he certainly was when he came in. So you can't have too many quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
At least at that level. But 24/7 Sports has MSU ranked 33rd in the country, 44th last year, and now for a team that finished 2-5 regular season, plus the game coming up against Maryland on Saturday. That's not. I don't think that's terribly bad, Pat. I mean, this could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. I think they did. They get some quality guys, and I'm not really sure. It seems like they need more help on the offensive side of the ball than the defense. Defense played fairly well this year, although they had some lapses in some of those games. They had the blowout game, 49-0. I think really showed their weaknesses. But the different matchups each week, it's tough, and with the coach coming in late as he did, the recruiting was probably a lot less than what he would have liked to have had.
Yeah, and an interesting side note here, Pat. This is from 247sports.com. There's no Spartan on this list listed under 6 foot.
Wow.
So it's just a weird thing to note that even the corners that Mel Tucker signed are at least 6 foot. So take that at what you will. If you want a tall team, there you go. You know, a solid class. Not too many offensive skill position players, which I understand based on, you know, the Jaden Naylors of the world. That his first name escapes me, but White, that receiver that Michigan fans now know by heart. I think they really held their own, the offensive skill players, and they did need to beef up the defensive and offensive line, and it looks like they did that.
All right. Well, let's hope that Michigan State gets what they wanted. Of course, this was just the first day of signing, and I'm sure there's a lot of other players out there that have not made up their mind which schools they're going to pick, and that will be coming later on. And certainly, I don't blame them because I think Michigan was very fortunate in only losing 2 of those players that they knew they had because of the Jim Harbaugh situation, not having a contract extension. He has 1 more year on that contract, but they don't seem to be in much of a hurry. And I know I'm going to talk about this with John Borden later on in the program next hour about his idea. You know, why didn't we sign a contract before signing day? I mean, that's one of the most important days of the year.
Yeah, you know, and it probably benefited Michigan recruiting-wise to not play these last 3 games, if we're being totally honest.
Yeah.
So the COVID situation, we could say, worked in their favor in that. And you're right, Pat. No contract extension for the guy. I know he said publicly that, you know, he's with Michigan and they're going to talk after the season type of thing. Well, it's getting pretty close.
Well, the season is over.
Their season is done, right?
Yeah,
with the cancellation.
Yep, we are done. There's no other games to be played, and I'm sure they're not going to be invited to a bowl game, that's for sure, if there's any bowl games going to be played.
No, well, it is Michigan. They might get invited to something just to keep the TV ratings up.
Maybe Michigan and Michigan State at the what's it called now? The Quick Lane Oil Change Bowl in Detroit.
Yeah, that'd be something.
Rematch.
I don't know, but
well, it would certainly draw a crowd. That's for sure.
Yeah, it would. Hopefully, we get crowds by then. But yeah, I mean, you got Michigan. When John and I talked yesterday, they were at 10th in the nation. They got bumped back a little bit to 12th. But they're second in the Big Ten behind you-know-who. Quarterback tops that list with J.J. McCarthy, and then you mentioned the running back, Donovan Edwards. Certainly an asset at those positions, number 4 in the country.
Yep.
For Donovan Edwards, number 44 overall. So another really good day for Michigan and a surprisingly good day for State.
Yep, exactly. Hey, we got to take a break here. It's past time, but you are inside the cave this morning with yours truly, Pat Hayes, along with Ian Wendt. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Where Lenawee County tunes for sports. 96.5, The Cave.
Winter season is here and construction work is coming to a close. It is still important that you remember to call Miss Dig whenever you plan to do any excavating. Citizens Gas Fuel Company in downtown Adrian would like you to know about Miss Dig. The Miss Dig system is a statewide one-call notification system that is a message handling service that processes calls from persons or companies who are planning to excavate or hand dig and then informs its member utilities of these plans. Michigan law requires anyone who is responsible for the planning or performance of any excavating, grading, digging, digging, demolition, cultivating, blasting, or boring to provide advance notice of at least 3 working days to Miss Dig. The Miss Dig system must be called prior to excavation in order to comply. Miss Dig is available 24/7 at 811. A valid and current Miss Dig ticket must be present on all job sites and can be paper or an electronic ticket. Miss Dig 811 tickets must be renewed prior to expiration. Remember, Miss Dig is fast, free, and it's the law. This message has been brought to you by Citizens Gas Fuel Company, Downtown Adrian, your local gas company, and more.
Is your vehicle so dirty that little kids are writing wash me notes on it?
My hands are all dirty.
Is your wife ashamed to ride with you?
Let's take my car.
Is your vehicle so dirty that it looks like it's a different color?
I thought your car was white.
Then it's time to go to Sudsy Does a Car Wash. We know you want your car to look great, so try Sudsy Does a Car Wash in Tecumseh.
Sudsy Does a Car Wash, Gary's Quick Lube too.
The Springs BP on West US 223 near Onstead Highway is your locally owned one-stop convenience store. The Springs BP Beer Cave is fully stocked and has a huge selection of craft beer along with all of the standards. If you're looking for something a little different, they have a variety of prepared cocktails and drink mixes plus state minimum prices on their huge selection of liquor. The Springs BP also has propane tank exchanges, fishing licenses, and bait. So if you're headed to the lake for the weekend or just heading home, make sure you stop and shop at the Springs BP.
Long Motor Sales in Tecumseh reminds you that our local shops and restaurants need your support more than ever. Long's is doing their part by giving away one $100 gift certificate to a local shop or restaurant of your choice with every vehicle purchase. It's important to invest in our community. Shop Long's current inventory online at longmotorsales.net.
New to the lot this week at Long Motor Sales is a gray 2008 Ford Ranger. This sporty 4-door extended cab truck features 4-wheel drive and a towing package. With only 127,000 miles, this vehicle has a lot of life left. Affordably priced at $10,300. Stop in and tell Eric you want to take this truck for a ride today.
If your vehicle needs something as simple as an oil change or a major overhaul or repair, take it to Long's Automotive Maintenance. Nathan Long has years of experience as a certified technician, giving you dealership quality service at a low price. Long's Motor Sales and Long's Automotive are located 1 block north of the main Four Corners in downtown Tecumseh at 201 North Evans. Long's, a family you know and trust.
Are you a pregnant or parenting teen in Lenawee County? The LISD Prep Academy is here to support you on your educational journey. Take the courses you need to meet your high school graduation requirements, while trained LISD staff provide free on-site childcare. You also have the opportunity to earn valuable skills and credentials at the LISD Tech Center. Academic counseling helps you reach your goals, and research-based curriculum provides a solid foundation for your child as they develop. To learn more about this program, visit lisd.us/prep. That's lisd.us/PREP.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, business, farm, and life insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the D.S. Johnson & Associates comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the D.S. Johnson & Associates in Adrian, Morenci, or Monroe, or give them a call today at 517-263-2582. Nationwide is on your side. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio, subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
I found us a place that wants to hire a few good employees. That's us.
Wait, does it pay well?
It does, and we can get meals and discounts on all kinds of things. The hours are flexible. They even offer scholarships, insurance, and a retirement plan.
Sounds too good to be true.
Nope, it's true.
McDonald's offers a wide variety of job and career opportunities from crew member to management. We're hiring for both our North and South Main locations in Adrian and at our Hudson Meridian Road McDonald's.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players and get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
Let's go inside the huddle with Michigan State's head football coach Mel Tucker. Brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, simple human sense. I'm Will Tiemann, and today's topic of conversation, the feelings about signing day. On this Thursday, December 17th, 2020.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, Saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community, know you by name, and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
And welcome back, Nazar, as we are being joined by Michigan State's head football coach Mel Tucker. And yesterday was signing day, Mel, and here we are a day after the fact. And I just thought maybe I'd get your feelings about how you think it went.
Yeah, I think it went well, and really give a lot of credit and thanks to our coaching staff and our support staff and our recruiting staff. We hit the ground running here February 12th on recruiting. And it's been almost all remote, Zoom, virtual visits, FaceTime, phone calls, text, under extraordinary circumstances, but no one made any excuses. We just adapted. And I look at signing players and recruiting. I look at it like the NFL draft. The purpose of the NFL draft is to improve your team. Improve your team at the starting level, improve your team at the backup level. You always want to work to improve the bottom of your roster as well. The players and student athletes that we brought in, that we've signed, are guys that are a fit for us. They're a fit for us academically, what we know that they're going to need to be able to do in the classroom to be able to get a degree that they want, working with our academic support staff, and also a fit for us athletically in terms of being able to compete at this level and win their one-on-one matches that they're going to have against good players, but also a fit for us in terms of mentality and culture and what we want in a Spartan dog. And all of the players that we've signed, there's one main theme about them. They all wanted to be here at Michigan State. It meant something for them to be a Spartan. This is not just a stepping stone to the NFL for them. They really want to wear the green and white. They're taking pride in it, and they want to win a championship, and they want to be the first class in this era to lay the foundation.
And that's all good stuff. And Mel, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And we've been brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance.
And welcome back to Inside the Cave this morning. Pat Hayes along with Ian Wendt. And we're talking a lot of football, and good to know that Mel Tucker was pleased with his recruiting class that came in yesterday. And I'm sure he'll be wrangling a few more players as the days go on, Ian.
Yeah, I'm sure he will too. And, when MSU signed Mel Tucker, it wasn't the best timing in terms of when you want to hire a coach. But when he came in, we were told that Mel Tucker can recruit. And, first year in, I tend to agree with him that I would be impressed with what they've done considering the state of the program.
All right, we want to switch gears here and maybe talk a little bit about some MAC schools. Specifically Eastern Michigan and Toledo, which are close by. And they also had some pretty good recruits come into their fold.
Yeah, they did, Pat. And I'm going to start with the in-state school, the Eastern Michigan University Eagles, not the Hurons.
Come on, they're the Hurons.
Just starting at the top of their class, they got a 6'2", 290-pound defensive tackle from Oklahoma City, Melvin Swindle, 3-star. He was signed. Carter Evans from Crystal Lake, Illinois. He is a tight end at 6'4", 230, and a 3-star. Cam Smith, a 6'2" safety from Euclid, Ohio. And defensive end, 6'5", Jaden Gaines from Chattahoochee, Georgia area, and a 6'5" defensive end, a 3-star recruit there. So quite a few 3-star guys for Eastern Michigan. I was scrolling through their signees, a couple interesting ones. They have a signee from Montreal, Quebec, over there in Canada, and they have a signee from Denmark.
Wow.
Plays tight end. Andreas Paske, 6'7", 220, from Denmark. He does not have a rating, probably because he's an international student athlete. And so a couple of interesting ones there. They do also land a transfer, a safety from Texas, 6-foot-tall Greg Kelly, again from the Texas Longhorns, transferring to Eastern Michigan. So a couple interesting ones there for the Eagles.
Well, the transfer portal coming in to be very important for some of these teams who maybe lack position players. And, hey, what a great way to recruit somebody in a hurry.
Yeah, and, if we're being brutally honest, a lot of these 4s and 5s don't work out at these big-time programs, and they never see the field, or they got recruited out of their spot, and they want to play, and if they got connections with the coach or with the school geographically, that's where they're going to go, So it's a great tool, and especially for a school like Eastern and others in the MAC that aren't pulling in, top 30 recruiting classes. They could get a few of these transfers in, and they could really make a difference right away.
All right, you're inside the cave this morning. If you'd like to talk with us about any of these football schools and what they're doing as far as recruiting players, give us a call here on the studio line, 517-265-4000. That's the number to call. You can also send us an email, sports@965thecave.com. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We do have a Twitter poll out there this morning. What is your favorite sport that you like us to talk about here on Inside the Cave?
Yes, we do. I have the results up. Final voting is in. Believe it or not, well, I do. 74% of the voters say football, and the second place vote getters at 16% were hockey, baseball 10%, and we did get a percentage point for wrestling. It was below 10%, but we did get some feedback there. And for second place hockey, Pat,
yeah,
I'm going to give Coach Krug and Coach Scully some credit, because they're really the only time we talk hockey is when they're on the air.
Exactly, and maybe we should get a contact at the Red Wings. Maybe we could talk to some of those guys over there, because they're not doing much right now.
Yeah, well, probably not. Probably not. We'll have to work our connections, get our phones working, and see what we can do.
Well, I think our coaches at Adrian College could probably give us some pretty good names, because they've been playing some pretty big hockey clubs in the semi-pro ranks.
Oh, they sure have. They really do, and I'm probably going to get a text from Sean Skelly here in a second about that. But a lot of the national talking heads for sports don't talk hockey. They really don't. Even in the off season for football, when hockey's going on, they're talking about off-season football or basketball. So, we sort of give the listener an outlet with that, and with the success of the Bulldog programs at Adrian College, and that helps too. It really does.
All right, let's move along to Toledo. You've got the list there, right?
I do, Pat. The Toledo commits, and looking at their I didn't mention Eastern's rankings here. They were 9th in the MAC. Last year they were 6th. So for Toledo, they're on the other side of things. They are number 1 in the MAC. Last year they were number 1, actually getting a national ranking of 70th in America. No 4 stars for the Rockets. They did get they call him an athlete, so no real position set for Trenton Atkins from Virginia. He's a 3-star, 6'1", $195, so maybe wide receiver type player based on height and weight. They got a linebacker from Akron, Ohio, Damon Olison, 6'2", 15. He's also a 3-star. Willie Shaw went to Brother Rice in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Running back, 5'11", $180. He's a 3-star as well. And Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Leonard Kuhl, a 6'4" tight end. So a couple of the players to note there for the Rockets. I'm seeing quite a few Oklahoma City kids. So the MAC might have sent some guys out west to get those guys. But a very, very solid class for the Toledo Rockets, number 1 in the MAC and number 70 in the country. So a lot of good things happening down there in Toledo.
Well, that's great. That's, of course, Toledo has played some really good football the last few years, and I'm sure they're going to be playing well again next year after this COVID is all done and we get back to some regular action. Get a full slate of games in.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. And what the MAC has done that was a really smart move for the conference, maybe not for the coaches to get the game prep done, but they started playing those Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night games. They were getting national exposure. You know, so that's another thing that as coach you could sell a kid is, look, you know, maybe you're not going to Alabama or you're not going to Ohio State, but you'll get some national exposure. You know, you go out and you ball out on Wednesday against Buffalo, you're going to be on a big-time network and a chance for someone to see you play. I think that's a huge asset.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we have to take another break here. Boy, time is flying here this morning on Inside the Cave. Don't go away. We're going to come back and talk about the Big Ten schedule that's coming up this weekend. So don't go away. You're Inside the Cave this morning with Pat Hayes and Ian Wendt.
We're not just fair weather fans. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Whoa! Gross!
Hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. 96.5, The Cave.
Hi, this is Dennis from Abbey Carpet and Floor. And like it or not, the holidays will be here before you know it. So now is the perfect time to get your home ready for your guests. And there's no better way to start than with the right window treatments, which can instantly transform any room in your house into a bright and cozy space. So during the Hunter Douglas Seasons of Style Savings event going on now, you can take 20% off or get free installation of qualifying purchases of gorgeous, innovative shades. We'll show you how Duet Honeycomb shades provide superior insulation and beauty at the window, and how Silhouette window shades filter light for a soft glow, or how Vignette Modern Roman shades offer contemporary glamour with luxurious fabrics. Hunter Douglas window treatments create a comfortable, inviting interior your guests will notice and appreciate. So don't miss the Seasons of Style savings event going on now. Limitations and restrictions apply, so ask us for details. Abbey Carpet and Floor, America's choice in floor fashion since 1958.
Looking for a great lunch or dinner to satisfy the whole gang? The Brick Wall Pub and Grill in downtown Adrian has it all. Juicy burgers, quesadillas, pizzas, salads, homemade soups, and so much more. Check their Facebook page for daily food and drink specials. Indoor and outdoor seating is available. Call 759-4072 for takeout orders. That's 759-4072. Join Crazy Karen for karaoke fun Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. The Brick Wall Pub and Grill. They're not just another brick in the wall.
This is Charlie Ribatero with Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton. As another year comes to a close, I want to thank my family and friends for continuing to be faithful Chevrolet drivers. Chevy has always built the best vehicles, and our new lineup continues this tradition. When you're ready for your next vehicle, keep in mind that I'll always help you find the vehicle that accommodates your lifestyle. We are all blessed in many ways. Please take a moment to remember the reason for the season.
What are you noticing when you look around your home? Hi, this is Sherry Hall with Carpet on Wheels.
By using our Design Center, we will assist you in making simple changes that will breathe new life into your surroundings. Sometimes just adding different accent colors or textures will do it. At Carpet on Wheels, you'll find both area rugs and blinds that can achieve your goals. So stop in to see us in downtown Tecumseh. For the quality you need and the service you deserve, only at Carpet on Wheels.
Experience the difference. Three-dimensional physical therapy takes their individualized treatments to advanced levels through the lens of applied functional science. This unique approach utilizes the physical, biological, and behavioral sciences along with the biomechanics of the entire body to identify and treat the underlying cause of an injury. The highly motivated medical professionals at 3DPT have been trained and certified by the prestigious world-renowned Gray Institute. Since January 2019, 3DPT team members have completed over 2,500 hours in education with Gray Institute to enhance their treatment abilities. To truly understand the 3DPT difference, you must experience it firsthand. Visit their website at mi3dpt.com or call 263-3DPT to schedule a free consultation. Locations in Adrian, Tecumseh, and Brooklyn. Also offering free consultations through telehealth services to better serve you. 3DPT, because people matter. Call 263-3378.
Saints Sports Weekly on 96.5 The Cave. Every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., Jeff Bowman, John Kane, and Fred Smith talk with coaches, student athletes, and alumni from Siena Heights University. They will dive into all the sports on campus and discuss the teams and student athletes that compete in the Navy and Gold. The Alumni Spotlight will focus on a former Saint. Tune in every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com for Saints Sports Weekly, brought to you by Magic Fountain Auto Wash and Siena Heights University.
Welcome back to Inside the Cave here on this Thursday morning, 7:46 in the morning. Pat Hayes along with Ian Wendt. And Ian, we're going to change our focus now and move along to the Big Ten and the championship games coming up this weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Pat. Where we really make our money as professionals is telling you who's going to win.
And of course, we're going to have our lock of the week next hour, brought to you by Adrian Locksmith. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure how we did last week, but
well, look, I got a bone to pick with Penn State because the last two games, Pat, we're on a losing streak. Last week, we picked Michigan State to beat Penn State. That was our lock.
Yeah.
And that was looking true at halftime. And then the debacle happened. And then the week before that, was it the week before we picked Michigan over Penn State, or was that 2 weeks before?
That was 2 weeks
That'd
before.
be 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then Penn State goes out and beats Michigan. So I'm going to stay away from Penn State for my lock of this week.
All
I
right.
can tell you that.
I'll remember that. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's. We got a Friday night game on the 18th. That's a special day for me, and we've got Nebraska at Rutgers. That's a 7:30 game on the Big Ten Network. So a couple of the also-rans.
Yeah, do we have the point spread for that one right now?
Just a second here.
You're normally my point spread guy.
You know, I don't have a point spread on that game. I don't think they've come out with them.
Okay, well, that's good. No one's going to watch this thing anyway. Gosh.
Well, of course,
Didn't
Nebraska.
They play? I feel like they played each other this season already.
Let's see. No, they have not played each other.
Oh gosh. I am going to go with Rutgers.
Rutgers is 3-5. Nebraska is 2-5, and this will be played at SHI Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey. So
yeah, I'm going with home team.
Home team.
Yep, home team. They took Michigan to 3 overtimes. They beat State. And that's a pretty scary Rutgers team, at least this season. And Nebraska just has not lived up to their hype since they joined the Big Ten. So I'm going to go Rutgers here.
I'm going to join you. I believe Rutgers, we saw a lot when they played Michigan. And so Nebraska has just had a tough year. And so, okay, it's Rutgers for both. Are you writing these down?
Yes, I'm taking notes.
All right. Okay, the second game that was scheduled was Purdue versus number 11 Indiana, which would have been a heck of a game. And, of course, that has been canceled because of COVID problems. So only one game on Friday, December the 18th. Then moving to Saturday, the first game of the day, and this is the hallmark game for the Big Ten. It's for the Big Ten championship, Ohio State versus Northwestern. That'll be at noon. That'll be a noon kickoff on Fox. So I think I don't know of anybody who was picking Northwestern in this one. Ohio State, I do have a point spread on this game. It's 21 points in favor of the Buckeyes.
Well, if you are, I'll tell you who's picking Northwestern, Pat. Are fans of what's that?
I know who you're going to talk about.
No, fans that like chaos. Fans that want a team like Cincinnati in the playoff, or a team like Texas A&M, or a team like Georgia to get in the playoff, because a one-loss Buckeye team, you can justify them not making it based on their schedule. They really only played two quality teams. They beat Indiana by a touchdown, and if they lose to Northwestern, that's a resume killer. So those are the people picking Northwestern, and of course Northwestern fans. But to pick against the Buckeyes would be irresponsible. 21 points spread really tells you all you need to know. I will pick Ohio State.
All right, and as I said, that is a noon kick on Fox. And the second game on Saturday will pit the Minnesota Golden Gophers at the Wisconsin Badgers. That'll be a 4 p.m. game. That'll be on the Big Ten Network. And so that should be an interesting game. The Minnesota coming in at 3-3. Wisconsin coming in at 2-3. Of course, we saw Minnesota in the first game of the season with Michigan, and they look pretty bad. And Wisconsin has had their problems, and this game being played at Camp Randall Stadium. And again, Ian, I'm going to go with the home team, the Badgers.
Yeah, with this matchup, if we can jump back in our time machine and say, you know, what's one of the more exciting games of the season, you would have said Wisconsin and Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota was ranked when they played Michigan.
Yeah.
Now this was considered a top team in the country. They fell off the face of the earth. And then you look at Wisconsin, a team that was flying high. They got hit with the COVID situation, and they've struggled. They've had turnovers. They've had injuries to some of their guys. So this is somewhat of a toss-up for me, but I will mirror you, Pat, and I will go with the home team Badgers.
All right, the next game, a 5:30 contest, Illinois at Penn State. This will be on Fox Sports 1, and I know who you're going to pick.
Well, yeah, you do. And, you know, they've burned me two times in our lock of the week, but just what a tough year for Penn State. I don't even know what Illinois' record is right now.
Illinois they are 2-5. Penn State is 3-5.
Yeah, and I don't really care what Illinois' record is because it's a bad football team. I think Penn State rolls in this one over the Fighting Illini.
All right, Penn State a 14.5-point favorite in that ball game. I'm going to go with Penn State also. Of course, Michigan-Iowa has been canceled because of COVID, and the last game of the day will be Michigan State at Maryland. That'll be a 7:30 game on the Big Ten Network. This should be a good one.
You would like to think so, Pat. These two teams were slated to play each other, but Maryland had COVID issues with their program. The second or third time they've dealt with that this season. I know they had one issue in the offseason. I figure Maryland's probably about a 6.5-point favorite in this one. In case you haven't heard, someone in Tua's family, I think it's his brother.
Yes, his
plays
brother.
at Maryland. Yeah, his brother. He's been the difference maker for Maryland. Too much for State to handle. Unfortunately, I don't think State ends their season on a high note, but they do get two really good wins. But that'll be it because Maryland's going to win this game.
And I would have to agree with you. I'm going to go with Maryland. They've had some pretty good games this season. They've had a lot of bad ones too, but I think this may be the week that they take on the Spartans and beat them. And who's going to be the quarterback for Michigan State? That's the big question for this week also.
Yeah, that's a good question, Pat. And I think it will be Peyton Thorne. I think he showed enough against Penn State. Now they have their offensive lulls, but you look at his stat line, 3 touchdowns and a pick, over 300 bills passing. So I don't know how you can go away from the guy. It's not his fault. He gave up 39 points, but he did score 24 at Penn State. But yeah, too much for Maryland, and I think they were favored back when they were going to play. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So do we have all the same picks?
I think we do. We are with it this morning. That's going to wrap up our first hour. Boy, it went fast. We're going to be back after the top of the hour. Don't go away. You are Inside the Cave this morning with yours truly, Pat Hayes and Ian Wentz.
Long Motor Sales in Tecumseh reminds you that our local shops and restaurants need your support more than ever. Long's is doing their part by giving away one $100 gift certificate to a local shop or restaurant of your choice with every vehicle purchase. It's important to invest in our community. Shop Long's current inventory online at longmotorsales.net.
New to the lot this week at Long Motor Sales is a gray 2008 Ford Ranger. This sporty 4-door extended cab truck features 4-wheel drive and a towing package. With only 127,000 miles, this vehicle has a lot of life left. Affordably priced at $10,300. Stop in and tell Eric you want to take this truck for a ride today.
If your vehicle needs something as simple as an oil change or a major overhaul or repair, take it to Long's Automotive Maintenance. Nathan Long has years of experience as a certified technician, giving you dealership quality service at a low price. Long's Motor Sales and Long's Automotive are located 1 block north of the main Four Corners in downtown Tecumseh at 201 North Evans. Long's, a family you know and trust.
Get your vehicle in shape with a complete cleanup at Beecher Street Car Wash and Auto Detailing. They will clean your vehicle inside and out. They offer detailing services like interior shampoo, hand wax, and buffing. Their expert staff will make your car, SUV, or van sparkle. They even do boats, RVs, and semis. Gift certificates available. Beecher Street Car Wash and Auto Detailing is open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 7 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Ask about their monthly membership and their annual memberships. They're located on West Beecher Street next to Barrett's.
Yes, we're open. The great off-road is wide open, and the keys to family freedom are ready and waiting at your Polaris dealer. Get rolling with the off-road's best for as little as $5 a day during the Polaris Holiday Sales Event. So head on over to J&L Motorsports at 1790 East Monroe Road in Tecumseh. Offer valid in U.S. through 12/31/20 on select new Sportsman models, subject to qualification and financing. See participating dealer for details. Always wear a helmet, never drink and ride. Are your floors screaming for a makeover? If so, O'Connor & Sons Floor Covering in Tecumseh, with their combined 160 years of experience, wants to help. O'Connor & Sons sell and install many styles of floor covering. They have the area's largest selection of luxury vinyl tile and planks, which are completely waterproof. O'Connor & Sons also carries Cali Bamboo, which are the world's hardest floors. Pet problems? No worries. They have pet-proof carpet that is guaranteed against all pet stains. O'Connor & Sons Floor Covering on Russell Road in Tecumseh. Call them at 423-6170, or for more information, check them out on Facebook at O'Connor & Sons Flooring.
Saints Sports Weekly on 96.5 The Cave. Every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., Jeff Bowman, John Kane, and Fred Smith talk with coaches, student athletes, and alumni from Siena Heights University. They will dive into all the sports on campus and discuss the teams and student athletes that compete in the Navy and Gold. The Alumni Spotlight will focus on a former Saint. Tune in every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com for Saints Sports Weekly, brought to you by Magic Fountain Auto Wash and Siena Heights University.
The best in regional sports from Southeast Michigan. WLEN Adrian, HD2, W243AD, 96.5 The Cave.
96.5 The Cave. Lenawee County Sports. Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. This is Inside the Cave on 96.5 FM and 965thecave.com. Sports talk radio with a local angle, where we give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports, interview area coaches and players, and get you ready to start your day.
Good morning.
Now grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass, because it's time to go inside the cave.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of Inside the Cave. My name is Pat Hayes. Ian Went is with me this morning. Good morning, Ian.
Good morning, Pat.
Got a lot to talk about in this hour, so let's get right to it.
Now for an Inside the Cave sports update.
Well, 4-star running back Donovan Edwards has committed to the Michigan Wolverines. He did that yesterday, the first day of the early signing period. Edwards announced his decision on ESPN and picked U of M over Georgia, Notre Dame, and Oklahoma, among other schools. Michigan football also held on to its top recruit in the 2021 class. 4-star receiver Xavier Worthy, who committed to the Wolverines in July, announced Wednesday afternoon that he would sign with U of M over Alabama. Worthy had paid his own way to Tuscaloosa to watch the Crimson Tide win over Auburn. That provided Alabama with the opportunity to flip one of Michigan's top recruits. Ultimately, Worthy chose to sign with U of M during the early signing period, a significant win for Michigan. Michigan State football quickly changed course from signing prep prospects Wednesday to diving headfirst into the transfer market to find another quarterback. Temple's Anthony Russo announced via Twitter that he will become a Spartan as a graduate transfer. He joins the 2021 class with incoming freshman Hamp Fay, a 3-star high school recruit from Texas, who Coach Mel Tucker said will enroll in January. Frank Ragnow is one of just 2 Detroit Lion players who hasn't missed a play this season. He played 872 offensive snaps overall, more than any other center in the league, and now he has done it while playing through a fractured throat. Ragnow suffered the injury early in Sunday's loss against the Green Bay Packers, according to the NFL Network. The Detroit Lions will interview current Monday Night Football analyst Louis Riddick for their general manager position, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen. Riddick will interview for the open job in Houston on Wednesday and then Detroit on Friday. Former Detroit Lions receiver Calvin Johnson, ex-Detroit Piston point guard Chauncey Billups, and former Mr. Michigan Basketball Award winner Shane Battier have been selected for the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame. Olympic gold medal gymnast Jordan Weber, former Central Michigan University softball coach Margot Jonker, and photographer Mary Schroeder are also part of the class. Former Buffalo Bills owner Ralph Wilson Jr., former Albion College and Okemos High School football coach Pete Schmidt, and longtime Lions beat writer Tom Kowalski will also be honored posthumously. And that is your sports update, rather. You are now up to date as far as what's going on in the world of sports. And Ian, we're going to change course here a little bit now.
Yes, we are. It's time to do some picks, right?
You got it.
All right. So time to get our picks in for the NFL. You can check our personal standings on our Cave Twitter page, 965 The Cave. JR leading that group. I think I'm in second place with that, so you can go check that out. We do our picks every week.
I'm right behind you.
Winners. We don't. You're catching up to me, right?
I am. I sure am.
And go check that out. The standings. I think they post them on Facebook as well. We just pick the winners. We don't pick against the spread. Maybe that'll change for the playoffs for the show. But something we pride ourselves on is our picks. So we are at week 15. Believe it or not, Pat, at this point. No cancellations of games. We've had several postponements involving my Steelers in particular. So here we go. Week 15, we got the Thursday night game with the Chargers and the Raiders. This game is playing at the Raiders Stadium.
Well, the Raiders coming in as a 3-point favorite. Raiders with a 7-6 record. They are second in the AFC West. And the Chargers are 4-9. They are fourth AFC West. And, the Chargers have really disappointed me this year. And, of course, the Raiders got blown out this last week by the Colts, 44-27. I almost have to go with the Raiders on this one because the Chargers, they got that rookie quarterback, and I don't think they can get it done. Justin Herbert is coming along, but Derek Carr has much more experience, and I think he's going to be the difference in the game.
Well, I believe the Raiders have a big-time coaching advantage. Early on in the season, started to pick the Chargers. I was believing in Justin Herbert. I was believing in the talent on the Charger roster, but it's become more and more obvious that there will be a coaching vacancy in Los Angeles for the Chargers coaching position. I will take the Raiders in this one. I believe they cover the spread, bounce back after that loss to Indy.
Okay.
Next game up, Pat, a couple AFC teams as the Buffalo Bills, off their big win over the Steelers, take on the Denver Broncos.
That was kind of a surprise last week for me with the Denver Broncos beating your Steelers. But their record is only 5-8, third place in the West. And the Bills... The Bills are coming off a big win, and so, I misspoke there. The Bills, the Broncos,
Bills beat the Steelers.
The Broncos came off a big win over the Panthers, 32-27. That's what I was trying to say. But the Buffalo Bills, they've got it going for them right now. They Josh Allen is doing a great job. They've got Singletary, their running back, and their defense. I guess their defense, you should probably talk more about their defense than their offense, but they've played some great defense. They are 6.5-point favorites. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills.
This game has trap game written all over it. If you're looking at this one, Denver is not a great team, but they have a pretty quality defense. They have a chance to slow down Josh Allen. Buffalo off an emotional win. They got a couple big games coming up on their schedule, so they might be overlooking Denver. I think Buffalo will have to make a big play in the fourth quarter to pull out and win this game. I really do. And I think they will. I got Buffalo winning this one. Next one up, a not very good team, but a young team that has shown promise at some points in the season. In Carolina, they're taking on a red-hot Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, wow. The Packers are 8.5-point favorites on this one. Carolina really impressed me when they played the Detroit Lions. Of course, a lot of teams impressed me that play the Lions this year, but the Packers, they've got it on automatic pilot, I think, right now, and they're headed for a great spot up with the upper echelon teams. They are 10-3. Of course, they're in first place in the NFC North. The Panthers been struggling a little bit. Teddy Bridgewater's been having his problems. Their defense is a little bit porous, and I think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are going to take advantage of that and pick up their 11th win of the season.
Now, the Packers need to jump on Carolina early, just get them really out of this one. I got the Packers winning as well. Let's go to the AFC South with the Houston Texans going to take on the Indianapolis Colts, a team that in my power rankings, I've had them between 12 and 9 really all season with the Colts. What kind of game are we going to get out of Rivers? I think he'll be good. And this game, I could see it being close, but Indy's got a really good defense, so I'm going with the Colts.
Well, the Colts are 7.5-point favorites. Houston coming in at 4-9, the Colts 9-4. I don't think there's much to be said about this game. The Colts are playing lights out right now. Phillip Rivers just probably having one of his best years ever as a quarterback in the waning moments of his career. So, I'm going to go with the Colts on this one, and this may be a larger score than people think.
All right, let's go to the Lions division, the NFC North, a team that the Lions split with against a team that they have lost to once. They'll get a chance with the Vikings again, but Minnesota coming home to take on the Bears. The Bears last week clobbered the Texans at home. Minnesota, if Dan Bailey could make a kick, I think they probably beat the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. I thought Kirk Cousins played well. Dalvin Cook's a machine for Minnesota. Their defense has problems. I would figure that Minnesota's favored in this one, Pat.
Yes, they are. They are favored by 3 points.
Okay, that sounds about right. I'd be kind of scared to bet this one because who are the Bears?
Yeah, for sure.
Are they the team that scores 35 points a game, like the last few weeks, or are they going to revert back to the 10 points a game Trubisky-Foles quarterback battle type team? The Bears defense. Now, when I was picking this one, I'll be honest with you, I went to my memory banks, and I was thinking back to, I've seen Minnesota play. They've had a couple games I've had the chance to watch. And when they need to go down and get a score, Cousins has no time to throw the ball. I think the offensive line is a weakness and pass protection for Minnesota. I think Khalil Mack will have a good game. And I got the Bears, the division rival, going north to Minnesota and beating the Vikings.
Wow, that's interesting. Of course, black and blue division game here. When these two teams get together, it is a slugfest. Both coming into the game with identical 6-7 records. And as you said, Ian, the Bears beat Houston pretty good last week, 36-7. But my question is which quarterback is going to show up in this ball game? Trubisky, he's had some good games. He's had some absolutely terrible games. Kirk Cousins, on the other hand, has got a slow start this year, but I think he's come on as of late. And I'm going to go opposite you. I'm going to go with the Vikings to win this one. And I think Kirk Cousins is going to be the difference. Mitchell Trubisky, is going to be hounded all day long by that Minnesota defense.
All right, we finally differ on something here,
Yeah.
Pat. It's the first time.
I'm going to catch up here.
That's right. You got a game to gain on me. So that's a separation point there. Let's see. This game a couple weeks ago was a laugher, but now it is not so much, at least not in my mind. The Seattle Seahawks will play the Washington football team. Washington leads the NFC Least with a 6-7 record. Pat, who you got?
Can you believe that Washington football team is leading? I just that's unconscionable. But anyway, they are 6-7. The Seahawks they haven't been playing very good football lately. They are 9-4 on the season. They of course jumped on the Jets last week 40-3, and as you said, the football team they played very well against the 49er team, which very, very surprising. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks on this one. I like Russell Wilson, MVP maybe honors this year. Alex Smith, though, he's been playing great football, and I guess it depends on if Alex Smith is going to be better than Russell Wilson, and my bet is on Russell Wilson.
So this is my least comfortable pick of the week. Do you have the spread?
It's 5 points. 5 points.
5?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be afraid to bet this one because you look at Washington, their strength is their defensive line, whereas Seattle's weakness, it's in the offensive line. So Russell Wilson's going to have to be Russell Wilson-esque. He'll have to play an MVP-level game to beat the football team because Washington is on a roll. I will pick Seattle, and I'll be shaking in my boots with that pick. I'm terrified of it. It's 5 points is a scary number to bet, and that tells you everything you need to know about this game. You'll be seeing some good highlights from that matchup. Let's go to the AFC in division. Huge game with the Patriots and the Dolphins. Now, I haven't checked this out officially, but I think if Miami wins, that eliminates New England from the playoffs.
I think you're right. And, the Dolphins are 2-point favorites in this game. And, this is a tough one. The Patriots coming in 6-7, as you said, with another loss, that would pretty much doom them. Dolphins looking to get in, and they're second in the AFC East, 8-5 record. So Tua against Cam Newton, it should be a great matchup. Cam Newton has not been as sharp as he's been in past years. Tua, as far as the Dolphins last week, they lost to Kansas City in a close one, 33-27. I'm going to go with the Dolphins on this one because, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots won.
Yeah, it's been one of those seasons for the Patriots. When you count them out, they get a win, and when you think they're dead, they stick their arm up through the dirt and they wave at you from the grave. So it's a divisional game. You can really take records out of it. Belichick is still the better coach in this matchup, though Brian Flores has been proving a lot of people right in saying that he's a really good coach. I will take the Dolphins. I think their defense is superior in scheme, and Cam Newton's been struggling, so I'll take the Dolphins to win this one. Next up, Baltimore gets to practice against Jacksonville. I will take the Ravens. All right, go ahead.
You're talking about Baltimore?
Yep, Baltimore, Jacksonville.
Okay, I'm looking. Okay, here we go. Baltimore, 13-point favorites, no question. Baltimore is gonna beat them bad.
All right, that's all the time they deserve. Tampa Bay goes to a division rival. We're not talking about Matt Ryan at all, really, this season. Tampa Bay coming off a win going on the road.
They're 5.5-point favorites. The Falcons coming in at 4-9. Buccaneers 8-5. Buccaneers need this game to secure a playoff position, so I'm going to go with the Buccaneers.
I'll go Tampa Bay 2. Atlanta will make it interesting because it's a divisional game, as they always do. This next game, when you say this, it sounds like we're going back to the 90s, but we're not there anymore. These teams are very good at this time. San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the 49ers are only 3-point favorites in this one. The Cowboys 4-9. The 49ers are 5-8. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah, I'll take the 49ers too in this one. Not putting too much stock into this game. If Dallas wins, it's really whatever at this point. Philadelphia goes to Arizona. Two teams are fighting to stay alive in the NFC.
That's right. Arizona 7-6, and the Eagles 4-8. Eagles have been playing pretty good football lately. They had a big win over the Saints last week, 24-21. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Arizona will pull this one out, go to 8-6.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia comes back to earth. Teams have film on Jalen Hurts now. Philadelphia's quarterback, I think he'll be fine, but I think Arizona will ultimately get the win.
All right, we are about out of time here on this one.
Yeah, I know. We gotta fly through these. Jets and Rams. I got Rams.
I'll say the Rams too. Yep.
Kansas City, New Orleans. Do the Saints bounce back? I think no. Kansas City wins.
I agree. No, Kansas City.
Cleveland and New York Giants. Does Cleveland stay down after their tough loss to Baltimore, or do they get a win?
Cleveland bounces back. This was going to be a big one for them.
All right, I got Cleveland as well. Pittsburgh gets to practice against the Bengals. Who you got?
I got the Steelers coming back after 2 losses.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh in that one too. And as the final game, the local one, Detroit, taking on the Derrick Henrys, the Ryan Tannehills, the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans all the way. The Lions just come up short.
Yep, Lions are jockeying for draft position, and Tennessee's just a better football team. I'll take Tennessee.
All right, that wraps it up. We got to take a break here. We'll be back to talk with senior editor from the Wolverine magazine, John Borton, in just a minute. Don't go away. You're inside the cave this morning.
The big names, the big games. We get you the story inside the cave. 96.5 The Cave.
Well, they did it. Martha and Sam switched their home and auto insurance to... Yes, they made that 800 call, and 11 minutes and 45 seconds later it was done, and they've lived happily ever after.
Oh, no.
What do you mean, Martha?
Unfortunately, a fire damaged our home a year later, and when we tried to file a claim, it was horrible. They didn't know us. They didn't know Michigan's laws. It even turned out we were paying more for less insurance.
Well, what did you do about it?
We've moved our insurance where it should have been in the first place, to Hayes Insurance Agency. Hopefully we'll never have another claim, but I know they really care about their customers and will always look out for us.
And you can count on the friendly local independent agents at Hayes Insurance Agency, 4752 Occidental Highway, to look out for you, too. With personal attention and top-notch service from experienced professionals. Remember,
don't get your insurance from...
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Hayes Insurance, 423-8316.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through your house, not a creature was stirring, not even your spouse. The family was watching TV in the den, Lifetime and Travel and ESPN. For you had called DNP to ask about cable and discovered that DNP was willing and able. The whole family shouted in great jubilation, "Thanks, DNP, for our cable installation."
Whether you're watching your favorite Christmas movie, FaceTiming family and friends, or making calls to loved ones, DNP Communications is connecting you to what matters most.
Craig Culver of Culver's. Before farm to table, before field to fork, there was just good, wholesome food. Grown by America's farm families, prepared fresh at Culver's, and always served with a smile. We still cook every Butterburger to order using fresh 100% Midwest beef and craft our frozen custard right in the restaurant using family farm fresh dairy. So thank you, farmers. Welcome to Delicious.
Winter season is here and construction work is coming to a close. It is still important that you remember to call Miss Dig whenever you plan to do any excavating. Citizens Gas Fuel Company in downtown Adrian would like you to know about Miss Dig. The Miss Dig system is a statewide one-call notification system that is a message handling service that processes calls from persons or companies who are planning to excavate or hand dig and then informs its member utilities of these plans. Michigan law requires anyone who is responsible for the planning or performance of any excavating, grading, digging, demolition, cultivating, blasting, or boring to provide advance notice of at least 3 working days to Miss Dig. The Miss Dig system must be called prior to excavation in order to comply. Miss Dig is available 24/7 at 811. A valid and current Miss Dig ticket must be present on all job sites and can be paper or an electronic ticket. Miss Dig 811 tickets must be renewed prior to expiration. Remember, Miss Dig is fast, free, and it's the law. This message has been brought to you by Citizens Gas Fuel Company, downtown Adrian, your local gas company, and more.
This is my favorite season, and I want everyone to be jolly and have fun decking their halls and putting up their holly. This is Josh Holly. Santa's sleigh only runs once a year. I'd like to get you in the right vehicle for everyday use for years to come. From Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton. Forget putting something under the tree this year. Let's put it in the driveway and on the road. Stop in now for end-of-the-year savings and GM employee pricing for all on the corner of 52 and 12 at Suburban Chevrolet of Clinton.
'Twas the night before Christmas.
Adrian Locksmith is here to help you secure your home and business. They can work with you to rekey entries and even provide video surveillance products. That'll help you let the right people in and keep the others out.
That new lock stumped me. You almost missed Christmas.
To secure it all, search Adrian Locksmith. Call 263-1415 or stop by 402 North Main Street to Adrian Locksmith.
Was the summer rough on your vehicle? Kids, dogs, water, mud, and now you're thinking, how am I going to get this clean? Leave it to the professionals at Beecher Street Car Wash. They have extended the Black Friday detail offer, so all through December, you can get a complete detail package for only $85. That means the inside and outside will look shiny and new. Call Beecher Street Car Wash at 263-4144 and book your complete detail appointment. Beecher Street Car Wash, next to Barrett's in Adrian.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players. And get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
This is the Michigan Sports Brief for Thursday, December 17th, brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find your local independent agent and start a frank conversation about your insurance. Visit fmins.com. I'm Rob Bennett. As the Michigan State men's basketball team prepares to open Big Ten play, we will hear from Spartan head coach Tom Izzo as he discusses one of the young up-and-coming talents on the green and white right after this.
Let's be frank. Your home, vehicles, business, and life are a lot like sports. The unexpected can happen at any time. The bright side is you can depend on Aspen Insurance Group and Michigan-based Frankenmuth Insurance to be on your side. So live your life and let us worry about insurance. Visit Aspen Insurance Group today at www.aspeninsurancegroup.net.
Let's get to know freshman center for the Michigan State men's basketball team. Mady Sissoko, the 6'9", 235-pound big man, has seen limited action so far this young season, but don't let that fool you. Spartan head coach Tom Izzo recently explained on his radio show the West Africa native continues to improve and looks for big things from him in the near future.
Oh, you're going to love him someday. He's fun. You know, I told him he's a little too quiet for me, but he's even getting out of his shell there. It's just been, it's been great. He's a warrior. He plays hard. He's a great kid. He's do whatever you ask him to do kind of guy. I mean, I just appreciate him so much. And I think it's because he's been humbled because of what he's gone through, and I once said when I went to Kuwait with the military, everybody should be in the military for a year. We'd have a better country. Well, if people went through what Marty did, I think we'd have better people, because he just has a appreciation for the little things in life. And sometimes we take for granted. So Marty's going to be, he's going to get better every day because he works at it every day. You're going to see him get better every day. I got to get him more minutes, and that'll come. And you got to remember that he did miss 2/3 of his high school year with a broken finger. And then you come here and you got the COVID situation and just not conducive for a freshman to get better quickly. But this kid will, and when he does, he's going to be a very good player.
And that'll wrap up another edition of the Michigan Sports Brief, brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance. Frankly speaking, when you need us, we will be there. Find your local independent agent at fmins.com.
And you're back inside the cave this morning on this Thursday. Welcome, everybody. And, of course, every Thursday at this time, we have with us on the program senior editor at the Wolverine magazine, John Borden. Good morning, John.
Morning, Pat. Great to be with you.
Well, a lot of things have happened over in Ann Arbor in the last few days. Of course, first up, the cancellation of the Michigan-Iowa game in the championship round of Big Ten football. And Michigan's COVID situation has not gotten under control, making that game impossible to play.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like almost an impossible task before the COVID, given the way things had gone for Michigan lately. I don't think too many people were looking forward to Michigan taking a trip out to Iowa and playing in frigid temperatures against a team that, quite frankly, has been worlds better in its direction and its execution of late. But that game was scheduled. Michigan was bound to play it, and then it went away because the numbers just are bad. They were talking about as many as 50 people that would be involved, not all COVID cases, but between COVID cases and those who would be quarantining because of contact tracing and things like that. So, yeah, you were in a situation where, I mean, it would have been ridiculous to even attempt to play that game.
Well,
so,
essentially that means that's the end of the season.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely. They could have tried to pursue a bowl game. There are no records requirements on bowl games this year, but the way things are going between the health and the season itself, there's I think at no point they're just going to shut it down and get healthy and really go over a whole lot of things that need to change and move forward with this thing.
All right. Of course, yesterday was National Signing Day, and surprisingly, the Wolverines came up with some great players, led by pro-style quarterback J.J. McCarthy, Donovan Edwards, running back out of Bloomfield Hills, Michigan, and Xavier Worthy out of Fresno, California. So some pretty good pickups for the Wolverines.
Oh, there's no question about it. The guys that you mentioned, Jay McCarthy, the quarterback out of Bradenton, Florida, 6'2", 195, Rivals 4-star and borderline 5. Everybody talks about him as being someone that is just the perfect piece of the puzzle to get this thing going for Michigan. And, just listening to him, he's someone who has helped build this class and has talked to other guys and is the guy that you would like to build around for the future. I mean, I've talked to some people that think he could be your quarterback from the very first snap next year. Now, I guarantee you somebody like a Cade McNamara is going to have something to say about that. We don't know about Joe Milton. Things are up in the air with him, whether or not he is going to, push back and and fight back after he got displaced earlier in the year. But J.J. McCarthy, believe it, is a talent, a great talent for the future. Then you're talking about Donovan Edwards, who kept everybody kind of in the dark for a long time. Where was he going to go? But he's a difference maker as a running back, 5'11", 193 pounds, right there out of West Bloomfield, only 40 minutes away from Ann Arbor. And he said that was a big part of his decision, to be able to stay and kind of be the hometown hero. He wants to do that, and he certainly has the capabilities as a running back to do it. Xavier Worthy, people got worried about, because with all the talk that has surrounded Michigan and the trajectory of the season, people worried, okay, this guy's going to jump ship, because he's from all the way out in Fresno, California, 6'1", 160, a very fast, very capable, lengthy receiver, another rival's 4-star. But he signed on the dotted line yesterday, along with Michigan made a save that others were worried about, another wide receiver, Andrell Anthony out of East Lansing, 6'2", 175. This was just a remarkable class, given the fact that there was so much of a struggle during the season this year and so much talk about the coaching staff, quite frankly.
Well, of course, I'm very, very surprised that Michigan did not get the contract finished with Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh says that, he's committed to Michigan, but it doesn't say anything about him coming back next year. And to go through the signing period with not knowing if your coach is going to be there next year, boy, I don't know what he was telling these recruits, but apparently he told them something, and they believe in Jim Harbaugh, and they're going to come to Michigan.
Yeah, I think behind the scenes, the assurances were that the head coach was going to remain in place, and they were going to do the things necessary to get things built back up and do it in a hurry with the kind of talent that these kids can bring, and with what they're doing, bringing along a very young offensive line, and they played an awfully young lineup this year, especially after the wave of injuries they had. So yeah, I think that the selling point was, look, we're building for the future, and come build with us.
You talked about a player coming in as a freshman and getting right in the lineup. You mentioned J.J. McCarthy. Is there anybody else in this recruiting class that can come in and make a difference right off the bat?
Oh, certainly Donovan Edwards, yeah. It looks like Michigan is deep at running back, but as you look at it, you had Hassan Haskins that appeared to be a really solid. He kind of emerged as your best running back there. We saw Zach Charbonnet almost disappear at times, and he may have been a little bit nicked up, but it's safe to assume that Chris Evans is probably going to move along now. At any rate, Donovan Edwards is the type of talent that would get snaps as a true freshman almost anywhere, anyway. And with kind of a fluid situation with Michigan at running back, I think that he is certainly going to be there. One of the spots that you always try to work a new guy in is at receiver, because it's one of the easier spots to learn, and a guy like a Xavier Worthy definitely could show up on the field next year. They need some defensive help, and where that's going to come from out of this group, I'm not exactly sure, but it's more of an offense heavy group. But you've got some different people like Keyshawn Bennett out of Connecticut, 6'4", 225, a 4-star defensive end. That is somebody that could step up. You get some good linebackers in this class, although that's one of the tougher spots to play early on. So that's a wait and see. Very few true freshmen linebackers can come in and do what you need to do, unless you're a Jabril Peppers.
I'm going to bring in Ian here. I'm sure Ian's got a question or two.
Well, I always do, Pat. And good morning, John. And I kind of what you were sort of alluding to was a good lead into my question. We talked quite a few weeks this year about what apparently is a lack of depth on the defensive line due to injury and the youth on the offensive line. And, you talked about the top three guys, their skill position. They're the quarterback, running back, and receiver. Are you seeing the kind of depth on the line of scrimmage that, if you're a Michigan fan, could make you feel a little better?
Are you talking about the offensive line?
Well, I guess both. I mean,
yeah,
we'll start with defense because that seemed to be
Michigan. No question, Michigan needs to build up its line on both sides. Now you've got the raw materials there over on offense with a ton of freshmen and sophomores who they absolutely love. But you want to talk about defensive line? You've got the talent at the end. We don't know what's going to happen for sure with guys staying or not, and I'm thinking of, in particular, Aiden Hutchinson. His injury would seem to argue that, he didn't really get a chance to showcase fully his skills, so I would expect he would be back. But in terms of the defensive line, your talent is mostly centered on the exterior of the line. You've got some guys that are coming along inside, but you really, really need the help at defensive tackle. And that is why here's something to keep a real close eye on. The NCAA has basically established free agency for these kids because they're clearing everybody through the transfer portal to go anywhere and not have to wait a year. So I would expect Michigan to have as many as a half a dozen pickups through transfer, guys that could play right away, and I would absolutely think that a focus would be at defensive tackle. That is a way that you might be able to get some kind of a veteran, just like Rutgers plucked off of Michigan's line last year, Michael Dwumfor. When I watched that Michigan-Rutgers game, I thought, Michael Dwumfor would have made a difference in the middle of the Michigan defensive line this year, and that might be an avenue as opposed to, trying to wait for another guy to develop for 2 or 3 years to inject some immediate muscle into the middle of the defensive line.
All right, you're inside the cave this morning, and on the line we have John Borton, senior editor at the Wolverine magazine. We got to take a break here, but we'll be right back. You're inside the cave this morning, 96.5 FM.
Hi, this is Dennis from Abbey Carpet and Floor. And like it or not, the holidays will be here before you know it. So now is the perfect time to get your home ready for your guests. And there's no better way to start than with the right window treatments, which can instantly transform any room in your house into a bright and cozy space. So during the Hunter Douglas Seasons of Style Savings event going on now, you can take 20% off or get free installation of qualifying purchases of gorgeous, innovative shades. We'll show you how Duet Honeycomb shades provide superior insulation and beauty at the window, and how Silhouette window shades filter light for a soft glow, or how Vignette Modern Roman shades offer contemporary glamour with luxurious fabrics. Hunter Douglas window treatments create a comfortable, inviting interior your guests will notice and appreciate. So don't miss the Seasons of Style savings event going on now. Limitations and restrictions apply, so ask us for details. Abbey Carpet and Floor, America's choice in floor fashion since 1958.
Do you think about working in the manufacturing world? Looking to improve your skills and earn a wage increase you deserve? The Center for Science and Industry, otherwise known as CSI in Hudson, can prepare you for the high-demand careers in manufacturing, engineering, or robotics. CSI can help you earn stackable certifications in the well-known manufacturing jobs available right here in Lenawee and Hillsdale counties, including quality, CNC, robotics, and industrial maintenance. Call CSI today at 517-448-1413 or on the web at smcsi.org.
Your vehicle is the second biggest investment aside from your home. You need to take good care of it. You can manage that in one location at Sudsy Does a Car Wash and Gary's Quick Lube. Keeping your vehicle clean will make it last longer and you'll enjoy your ride more. And Gary's Quick Lube will take care of the one chore that everyone puts off, getting that oil change. So when the light comes on and you have driven through dirt, salt, or mud, head to Gary's Quick Lube and Sudsy does a car wash. Sudsy does a car wash. Gary's Quick Lube too.
I found us a place that wants to hire a few good employees. That's us.
Wait, does it pay well?
It does. And we can get meals and discounts on all kinds of things. The hours are flexible. They even offer scholarships, insurance, and a retirement plan.
Sounds too good to be true.
Nope, it's true.
McDonald's offers a wide variety of job and career opportunities from crew member to management. We're hiring for both our North and South Main locations in Adrian and at our Hudson Meridian Road McDonald's.
Michigan's auto insurance laws are changing, and that means drivers have a lot to think about, right, Steve Hayes?
People are going to have to be hands-on on their auto insurance. They've got a lot of choices here. Bodily injury limits or your PIP choice. You're going to stay unlimited, or do you want to ramp it down?
But one thing hasn't changed. The local independent agents at Hayes Insurance Agency. They know the new laws inside and out. And whether you're one of their customers or not, they'll help you make an intelligent, informed decision.
It's not uncommon for us to take calls for 5 hours a day of just questions. I get a lot of paperwork that might be intimidating, and we walk them through it. We don't tell people what they should do. We're going to give them the option.
From the simplest questions to the most complex, count on Steve Hayes and his staff at the Hayes Insurance Agency.
I want to be the agent that has the most knowledge about these new laws.
Call Hayes Insurance, get all the insurance you need.
Hayes Insurance, 423-8316.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Lenawee County, Michigan. Sports Talk Radio with a local angle on Inside the Cave. Weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. on 96.5 FM. We give opinions and analysis on what's happening in the world of sports. Interview area coaches and players. And get you ready to start your day.
Sweet, man.
Grab a flashlight, hiking boots, and a compass because it's time to go Inside the Cave. Weekday mornings 7 to 9 on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com.
And you're back inside the cave this morning. Pat Hayes along with Ian Wendt. And on the phone with us, we have John Borton, senior editor at the Wolverine magazine. And John, any movement that you've heard of on Coach Harbaugh as far as a contract?
Well, I think that they've been working on something all along behind the scenes. And no word with signing day yesterday. That was all the focus was there. Jim and Ward Manuel, Michigan's athletic director, had said right along they weren't going to talk about it until after the season. Well, the season's over, and now I think they can focus on that. But word has it that there's a contract drawn up, and that it is more incentive laden, less money. In part because you're looking at a season where, and some results lately that need to go up, and so that you put those incentives in there for beating Ohio State, for beating Michigan State, for making it to the Big Ten championship game, the playoffs, all of that. And also, there's the consideration that the Michigan Athletic Department has taken an immense financial hit this year with COVID, and you're sitting there playing football games in front of a couple hundred people rather than 115,000. So I think those two things combine to move them towards offering a contract that, like I said, is more incentive-based. We will see now what happens and whether or not Jim Harbaugh takes that, but he has certainly expressed many times over his desire to be here. He's told that to the recruits. And, I expect him to be here next year, and we just have to see when that gets announced and how it does. Could he have a different direction, take a different direction, and decide to, if somebody made an offer from the NFL? Yeah, he could, but I don't expect it at this point.
All right, let's change our focus now to basketball. Of course, Wolverines basketball program is off now until Christmas Day, where they'll take on Nebraska. I guess the first question for our local listeners here, what's the status of Mr. Austin? Austin Davis.
Austin Davis, is, as you know, went down to injury in a couple of games ago, and Michigan had a great thing going at center with Austin Davis, the fifth-year senior at 6'10" out of Onstead, and with rookie Hunter Dickinson at 7'1", and you had the latter coming in to spell the former and doing really well. But Austin Davis is kind of gone from starter at center to assistant coach at this point, and doing a great job with that. But he's got the plantar fasciitis, which is an extremely painful foot injury. It's all about rehab. It's all about getting it back to a manageable pain level, and I expect it to be a few weeks anyway. It's not a short-term thing necessarily, but they've got obviously excellent medical staff up at Michigan, and they are going to be trying to work him back as quickly as possible. But I would say that this is a tough setback for a really great kid, as the people of Lenawee County know, and he's showing that in terms of the way he has he continues to coach and guide and mentor the young kid. And Hunter Dickinson, I had an extended interview with him the other day, and he just can't say enough about Austin Davis and how he's poured everything that he knows into him, gotten him ready for the Big Ten play. And, Jawan Howard had a great tweet with a video. You see Austin Davis with his arm around the 7'1" Hunter Dickinson on the edge of the court, very animatedly giving him instruction. And basically Jawan Howard saying, hey, that's what it's all about. This is it's family, it's brotherhood, and it's very genuine between those two, the fifth-year senior and the freshman. And it's just more confirmation. That's who this kid is, and he's very genuine, and he is helping this team even while he's sidelined.
I want to bring in Ian here. Ian's got a question, I think, here for John. We are running out of time, but a quick question, Ian.
Yeah, sure thing, Pat. The last game Michigan went out and played, they had a battle with Penn State. Michigan did win that 62-58. Penn State struggled shooting. Michigan struggled turning the ball over. But I'll kind of put the spotlight on a couple of guys here. We know Dickinson is so far turning out to be a superstar. At center, he had 20 points and 7 rebounds. But a guy that we talked about on the Cave quite a bit was the transfer in. I feel like I'm saying his first name wrong. Is it Chaundee Brown?
Chaundee, yeah. Is that right? Chaundee Brown.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How is he sort of fitting into this Michigan team?
Well, he's fit in great. He's got a personality that people are attracted to, and he certainly is not somebody that has been a me guy, and that's important for this team because you have a lot of talent. I mean, you've had a couple of games where the bench is scoring more than the starters. They have come in and done a great job. But he's somebody that can light it up from outside. He didn't do a whole lot offensively in the game against Penn State, but there's no question that he has got all kinds of talent. He scored big against Duke back when he was with Wake Forest, and it's a very, very talented, very deep team. And the Chaundee Brown and Mike Smith, the other transfer, are going to help this team a whole lot before all is said and done. Mike Smith obviously being the guard from that transferred in from Columbia.
All right. Hey, we're about out of time here. John, can you tell us how folks can subscribe to the Wolverine?
You bet. The monthly magazine, just dial up this number, 800-421-7751. You'll get all the analysis. You get all the features and the recruiting, and especially this issue, you'll get a ton of profiles on all the new incoming Wolverines on the football team. And visit us every day on thewolverine.com.
Great. John, thank you very much. You going to be around next week?
Absolutely.
All right, John, we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us here on Inside the Cave.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Ian, we've got some unfinished business to do. We've got our Lock of the Week, this week's Lock of the Week, brought to you by Adrian Locksmith. Let's be honest, you couldn't pick your nose if it wasn't attached to your face, so I can't imagine you're any good at picking football games. So we're going to do it for you. Of course, Adrian Locksmith has been serving Lenawee County and surrounding areas for over 20 years. Adrian's Locksmith is located at the corner of North Main and Maple Avenue here in Adrian. And who's our Lock of the Week, Ian?
Oh, gosh, Pat, every time you read that, it brings a smile to my face. Which my nose is attached to, by the way.
Yes.
We're gonna pick the Big Ten championship game for the Lock of the weekend. I thought about picking Penn State because they've been beating us a couple times, but the Lock of the weekend will be the Buckeyes over Northwestern to solidify their place in the college football playoff.
Although we wouldn't mind seeing Northwestern beating Ohio State.
Well, if you like chaos and you want to make for really good radio, of course. and then we're talking, Pat, that Michigan State knocked Northwestern out of the playoff. Because you can't argue an undefeated Big Ten champ not making it.
That's true.
That would have been interesting. That would be interesting.
Very interesting. Hey, it's been great.
It won't happen. They're the Lock of the Week.
Yeah. All right. Lock of the Week has been brought to you by Adrian Locksmith. Security is the name of their business. Adrian Locksmith is at 402 North Main Street in Adrian. Give them a call, 517-263-1415, or check them out on Facebook. And, of course, tonight we have pro football coming up. What's the Raiders?
Yes, we do.
Go ahead.
No, it's going to be the Chargers-Raiders, right? The Thursday night game.
There we go. Coming up about 8:20 tonight. Hey, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining us on Inside the Cave. Ian, another great show.
Yeah, it sure was, Pat, and thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next Thursday. That'll be the 24th.
Yeah.
So a Christmas Eve day morning edition of Inside the Cave. Should be a fun one.
Should be a great one. We'll see you next week. You're Inside the Cave.
Hi, this is Dennis from Abbey Carpet and Floor. And like it or not, the holidays will be here before you know it. So now is the perfect time to get your home ready for your guests. And there's no better way to start than with the right window treatments, which can instantly transform any room in your house into a bright and cozy space. So during the Hunter Douglas Seasons of Style Savings Event going on now, you can take 20% off or get free installation of qualifying purchases of gorgeous, innovative shades. We'll show you how Duet Honeycomb shades provide superior insulation and beauty at the window, and how Silhouette window shades filter light for a soft glow, or how Vignette Modern Roman shades offer contemporary glamour with luxurious fabrics. Hunter Douglas window treatments create a comfortable, inviting interior your guests will notice and appreciate. So don't miss the Seasons of Style Savings Event going on now. Limitations and restrictions apply, so ask us for details. Abbey Carpet and Floor, America's choice in floor fashion since 1958.
Do you think about working in the manufacturing world? Looking to improve your skills and earn a wage increase you deserve? The Center for Science and Industry, otherwise known as CSI in Hudson, can prepare you for the high-demand careers in manufacturing, engineering, or robotics. CSI can help you earn stackable certifications in the well-known manufacturing jobs available right here in Lenawee and Hillsdale counties, including quality, CNC, robotics, and industrial maintenance. Call CSI today at 517-448-1413 or on the web at smcsi.org.
Are you a pregnant or parenting teen in Lenawee County? The LISD Prep Academy is here to support you on your educational journey. Take the courses you need to meet your high school graduation requirements, while trained LISD staff provide free on-site childcare. You also have the opportunity to earn valuable skills and credentials at the LISD Tech Center. Academic counseling helps you reach your goals, and research-based curriculum provides a solid foundation for your child as they develop. To learn more about this program, visit lisd.us/prep. That's lisd.us/PREP.
Life as a farmer has many sides. That's why we work with Nationwide, the #1 farm insurer, to help farmers and ranchers stay profitable and protected. With Nationwide, you can feel confident you're getting coverage that fits your operations needs. Find out how to help protect your farm or ranch. Call us today.
D.S. Johnson & Associates, located in Adrian, Morenci, Monroe. Give them a call today at 517-263-2582.
For your many sides, there's Nationwide. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review and approval. Products and discounts not available to all persons in all states.
Saints Sports Weekly on 96.5 The Cave. Every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m., Jeff Bowman, John Kane, and Fred Smith talk with coaches, student athletes, and alumni from Siena Heights University. They will dive into all the sports on campus and discuss the teams and student athletes that compete in the Navy and Gold. The Alumni Spotlight will focus on a former Saint. Tune in every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 96.5 The Cave and 965thecave.com for Saints Sports Weekly. Brought to you by Magic Fountain Auto Wash and Siena Heights University.
The best in regional sports from Southeast Michigan. WLEN Adrian, HD2, W243AD, 96.5 The Cave.
96.5 The Cave. Lenawee County Sports.